What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very juicy, gossipy life update, what's been going on, where I've been, why I thought I was sick, and why I might be getting my license potentially taken away if I don't get my act together. Okay, so for those who don't know, my name is Tessa. I am a fitness enthusiast. I'm 19 years old. I have a dream of going pro in the IFBB, and this is basically my life. This is my channel, this is what I do. So as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I was concerned that I had some sort of sickness. I wasn't feeling good, I was feeling very fatigued, just like crap. And I went and got blood work done, and my question was answered. I was actually debating making this video or not, just because we did find something, but it's not what I expected. Like, I was expecting my iron levels to be low, or like my vitamin B12 to be low. And when I got my blood test results back, my doctor walked in the room and he says to me, "So I heard you tested positive for mono." And I actually said, "Are you making a joke? Are you trying to joke with me?" So for those who don't know, and I was so quick to jump to conclusions about mono because growing up in high school, so many people had it, and it was kind of known as like the kissing disease, or basically like you really got around if you had mono because it is transferable through saliva. So when my doctor told me that I tested positive for mono, it immediately answered my question as to why I've been feeling so shitty. But then it also made me wonder, because first of all, symptoms of mononucleosis are a high fever, sore throat, you have like really swollen tonsils. It did get me thinking, and I remember literally right after the Pro-Am, right after my last competition, which was in July, I got really, really sick. And it was not like any other sickness. I remember looking in my throat, and I swear I thought I had tonsillitis because my tonsils were so swollen and they had white patches all over it. At the time, I didn't know what it was. But looking back and doing the research, I now realized I had infectious mononucleosis. That's what my tonsils, like, that's like a clear, like, hey, you're sick. But at the time, I didn't know what it was. We are now 7 months past that. That was the last time I was sick. I haven't gotten sick since then. However, the mononucleosis virus can lay dormant in your system, and it can have lingering effects. And the lingering effect that it has is chronic fatigue. That is exactly what I was experiencing and what I explained in my last video. I was talking about how it's hard for me to get up and walk my dog. Sometimes it's hard for me to go to the gym. And I explained all of this to my doctor, and he was like, okay, well, it just sounds like you're having the after effects of it. So the chronic fatigue can actually linger for, I think it was maximum up to 18 months, which is like super, super inconvenient. However, I'm noticing that it comes definitely in bursts. For example, right now, I feel so amazing. I feel great. I feel like $1,000,000 right now. I don't feel any fatigue, but yesterday I couldn't move off the couch. It was as if there was just this force, like I was just on the couch and I was fatigued and I had no explanation for it. So saliva can be transferred through many ways, not just kissing or being sexual with someone. I could have gotten the virus from drinking out of the same pop can as somebody who had the virus and didn't know. If you share a spoon, if you share a bite of the same food, if you come in contact with like the littlest bit of another person's saliva, you could easily get the virus. So I'm thinking I probably got the virus from the show that I competed in, because when we're backstage, we are sharing everything. Like, if you've ever done a competition before, you know, you guys are all drinking out of each other's bottles, sharing snacks, sharing this, sharing that, and there is literally so many ways I could have gotten this. but I'm not too concerned with how I got it. I am just happy to know the root of my fatigue, because it was really getting to the point where I was like, is there something actually wrong with my body or my brain? Like, what the heck is going on? But to recap on my blood work, I was actually surprised to find out that all of my levels were picture perfect. My iron levels were good, my B12, everything, my liver enzymes were peachy keen, because those had been a little bit off last time I checked. Everything, like literally everything on my blood work could not have been more perfect. Only thing I gotta watch out for is just these bouts of fatigue. I just need to listen to my body and rest when I need to. Otherwise, we are good to go. Another thing is I got a letter in the mail from the insurance company, and they said, we hope that you improve your driving behavior, or else you are gonna be put on probation and your license will be suspended. And I got this letter and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? In November, all the way back in November, I was going 20 kilometers over the speed limit on a Friday night on the highway. And I got pulled over. And it was literally the scariest moment of my life. I had a full-on panic attack in my car when the cop was talking to me. I was hyperventilating, I couldn't even talk properly, and the cop was like, are you okay? Like, is something going on? And I was like, I have just never been pulled over before, and I am such a responsible driver, and I don't know how I'm gonna tell my mom. And I was actually crying. And like, I am a very responsible driver. I've had my license since I was 16, so like 3.5 years. I got it as soon as I could. Only thing is, I am still an N driver. I haven't gotten my full license yet, and the cops around here are really, really, really strict with N drivers. If you make one small mistake, they will get you. And basically, he gave me a speeding ticket and he told me, N stands for new driver, not NASCAR. So I paid the ticket immediately the next day. Like, they hadn't even put it in the system yet. I paid it that fast. I was like, this is unacceptable. I am paying this right away, and I'm never speeding again. And I haven't sped since then. But I had forgotten about that. And then I got this letter in the mail this week. And since I'm an N driver, I'm only allowed one mistake. And that was my mistake. So I get this letter and they're like, hey, you better go get your full license, or we're going to inevitably take your license away. I have to go for my license test. And as that's not really that big of a deal, I suck at reverse stall parking. And guess what they test you on when you're getting your full license? Reverse stall parking. And I am just freaking out. I'm like, it's the only thing that I can't do. I can parallel park perfectly, I can pull in, I can back out. I just can't reverse into a stall. I don't know why. I've been practicing. I'm gonna keep practicing, and then I'm gonna go for my test, but it's just like, damn guys, like, come on, you've really gotta put the pressure on. Last night I had my samba performance, so I basically learned how to samba dance in 1 month, and then I went to a nightclub last night and I performed, and it was absolutely amazing. I had so much fun. After we stopped performing, I was completely ready to just like peace out, go home. I think it was like 11 p.m. by that time. And all the other dancers were like, Tessa, you're 19 and you've never had a nightclub experience. You've never been like actually in a nightclub, danced, you've never done that. And they said, if you were to have that experience with anyone, you might as well have that experience with us, because we're all dancers and like we are a safe crowd. And I thought about it and I was like, okay. I did not touch any alcohol, I didn't touch any drugs. I am like genuinely not interested in drinking or doing any of that. Like, my body just, no, we're not doing that. So I was completely sober, but I had such a good time. dancing in just this big room of people, and I was like, ew, the floor is sticky, and they were like, yep, that's clubbing. And I was like, ew, it's so hot in here and steamy, and they were like, yep, that's clubbing. I probably sweat out like 2 pounds of water weight or something. But I'm just glad that I had a first like nightclub experience, because I am 19, and basically the majority of people my age are out partying, doing whatever the hell to their bodies, but I am just glad that I got to dance in the nightclub with a bunch of people and just like have a little bit of a party, because I feel like I really deserve that. I've never done anything like that before, and I'm just glad to have experienced it, especially leading into an 8-month prep. I'm not gonna be able to do stuff like that. So I'm just glad that I got to experience that like little burst of nightlife. That being said, I did come to the conclusion that it's not really my thing. Being sober in a room full of intoxicated people, you kind of run out of steam really fast. And I think I danced for about an hour, and then I was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore, I'm gonna go home. But for that 1 hour that I danced, it was amazing, and it was actually really good cardio, so that's a bit of a bonus. I do like to get up at 6:30 in the morning and go train. Can't really do that if I'm dancing in a nightclub, despite it being good cardio, so, but hey, your girl had her first nightclub experience. And actually it was funny, the owner of the club came up to me and he was like, just so you know, the security guards were freaking out because we didn't know if you were 19 or not, and 19 is like the legal drinking age in Canada. And I was like, oh, ha, that's so funny, because I am 19, I just look like I'm 12. The final thing I want to share with you guys is I finally have a start date for my prep. I'm gonna start prepping at 18 weeks out, so that's actually next Saturday, so I'm probably actually gonna start on the Monday. I'm doing what I need to do to make this a reality for me. I am not giving up. I'm taking my pre-workout when I need to get shit done, and I am just focused on the goal, eyes on the prize, and I'm just ready to kill this prep. Alrighty, so hopefully next time I do a life update video, I will have my full license. Or maybe I won't have a license at all. Just kidding, knock on wood, because I really need to get that done. It was great chatting with you guys. I just wanted to make a little update and just tell you why I keep disappearing on YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.